Hello, this is another Dualset match between Echiqueur and Minionpawn. I'm joined in commentary by Halo Andy 007.
Hello, everyone.
So, looks like we're starting off with adventures and intrigue. So that'll be,
Going on an intriguing adventure
yes.
to find our inheritance.
Ooh.
We need a plan along the way.
We'll travel to distant lands.
In our royal carriage with our harem, and maybe our hireling on the side.
To go visit the Baron, but first we send a messenger before, give him a pawn, and wish for ironworks for our country.
Alright, so...
Yeah, so plan is probably
what
important, because it's the only trashing here.
Yeah, which means that inheritance is probably extra important.
Yeah.
So, like, Baron's usually a really good inheritance card. It can give you estates later, and it can help you spike 7 early. So I definitely think that opening Baron seems pretty reasonable here.
Yeah.
So yeah, Minionpawn, even on the 5-2, going for Baron Pawn. So Minionpawn's going to spike inheritance right now. And I think you probably inherit Wishing Wells.
Yeah, that sounds good. Because that's
like
also
nice
the like
cantrip that can also be a lab when you find them, and it's like all your estates are now cantrips or better. So
yeah.
Minionpawn's just off to a huge lead now, and now the Baron can just start printing Wishing Wells.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Like
yeah,
you don't even have to discard the estate here. You can just grab an extra estate if you wanted to. But like Ironworks, grabbing estates now, Ironworks there's a lot of weird interactions with inheritance. Like Ironworks grabbing an estate will now also give you +1 action and +1 card because it's an action.
Right. This makes it like Ironworks Mill or Island.
Yeah, it's like Ironworks Mill or Island now. I mean, it's no Groom. You know, like Inherit Groom is like one of the most broken things imaginable, but like it's not quite that good, but still pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, this will probably be a pretty quick game, I think.
Yeah, I mean, Echiqueur still hasn't gotten inheritance, correct?
No,
It's 6
no,
and
he's
bought a
not.
harem. So I don't really like the harem. I mean, just like on an inheritance board, like not always, but a lot of the time, just like trying to spike inheritance is the main goal, and Baron really works well for that.
Yeah. Oh, actually, so with plan, since estates are actions now, can you put plan on estates?
No, because estates aren't an action supply pile.
Okay.
One of the
action supply
they are
pile.
action cards, but it's not an action supply pile.
Okay, but distant lands you can put trashing on.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, you could. So, yeah, I mean, putting plan. That's a little odd that Minionpawn planned Wishing Well because you can just gain the estates instead. But I think it still works. Like,
yeah,
you kind of want to inherit Wishing Well and grab all the Wishing Wells, and then like you just have endless draw.
Yeah, and I mean, it doesn't seem like there's actually really that big of a problem because I think wishing wells are cheap enough that you could probably end this with no coppers.
Yeah, usually you want to put plan on something pretty cheap so that you can like have something left over to trash. And here you're not going to be trashing estates anyways, so
yeah,
you're only trashing coppers, so you kind of need to put it on something cheap. Endgame wise, I guess just kind of aiming to get all the Wishing Wells, and then I don't know. The payload's pretty awkward though, other than Baron. But Baron discarding your inherited estates isn't like that great either, so I'm not really sure how big you're trying to build here other than getting all the estates and all the Wishing Wells. But Minionpawn's just off to a huge lead.
Yeah, I think here just okay, like just gain an estate, like run the pile down faster.
Yeah, I like trashing 2 coppers here. I think that works. Like, I think Minionpawn's just gonna aim to pile estates, wishing wells, and then kind of see what the game's at.
Yeah, the
Once those
ironworks
2
are.
piles are gone.
Yeah, the ironworks would be really good if there were some other draw than wishing well, because it's so awkward the draw here.
Yeah, and it's tough because like usually if you have a lot of wishing wells and like you're not paying that close of attention to your deck. All right, so Echiqueur does get the inherited wishing well a bit late on turn 8 compared to turn 4 for Minionpawn, but better late than never.
Yeah,
Because at least it like takes care of your estates that are already in your deck, even if you're not going to have the chance to get any more here. But what I was saying is usually like with wishing well, if you have a lot and you're not keeping track of your deck well, you just wish for wishing wells. But here it's a little more complicated because like you can be wishing for estates or wishing wells.
yeah.
So, like, Minionpawn getting some very good wishing for estates there. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times in a row, Minionpawn wished for a state and found it. Which is like, that's one way to draw your deck.
Yeah.
So, like, that's not going to happen every turn, but that's certainly helpful.
I mean, honestly, yeah, like Ironworks last estate, pawn for action coin or action buy, and then yeah, or you could do that, I guess.
Yeah, so I mean, Minionpawn's going to get the last estate here, and then it's maybe time to start adding some more real payload to this deck.
Yeah, I think yeah, there are still 5 stop cards, so
Yeah, like
all right, now it's a
Royal
golden
Carriage
deck.
and Barons, like you have the estates to discard, so maybe Baron discarding estate is your best play here for payload. I
Yeah,
could see that being possible.
I just don't know what the third pile would be.
Well, I mean, I'm not talking about a pile.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
just
yeah.
talking about like what you want to build your deck to. Like if you are able to get rid of a lot of the coppers, then Royal Carriage and Barons is going to be a pretty nice payload.
Yeah.
Because like you know you have a bunch of estates and you can discard them, and like if you discard 2 estates, you know to wish for a state the next time. You can like guarantee your wishing wells hit if it's just estates down there at the end.
Yeah. Although I think
Like say you had like 3 Royal Carriages as an example. So you play Baron, you discard 4 estates for $16, and then you play 2 wishing wells to draw up all 4 cards again. Like, I mean, you don't even have to draw them back up, but you could.
yeah, had to waste the royal carriage there on the wishing well, unfortunately. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, Messenger's fine. It's just a little annoying that there's no real draw besides wishing well, and
yeah,
no village besides Royal Carriage.
yeah. But that's intrigue for you. Lots and lots of clicking.
Yeah, not my favorite set. It's not bad. I don't mind intrigue, but like for being the second set out of the gate right after base, like it's pretty good. You know, like definitely a lot of nice things added to it while Donald X was like experimenting a little bit with what to do.
Yeah.
Going forward, so I think it was a good second set. I just like the newer sets have really catered to like experienced players, and I think that's a good thing. You know, there's always base Dominion for players who don't want something a little more intense, but like, you know, with these things about discussing card levels, like basically every card in Menagerie is like a level 10 in terms of complexity. Like,
yeah,
it's a very complex set. Same with Nocturne. Like, Renaissance kind of turned down the knob a little bit on complexity, but like compared to Intrigue and Base, even a card like Silk Merchant or Recruiter is like pretty complicated compared to some of the earlier cards. Like it's not as complicated as like Debt and horses, but
yeah,
pretty much all the new expansions are just turning up the level of complexity.
Yeah. And I remember the first time I played with Menagerie cards ever. Like I had no idea. Like I wasn't like I didn't have a subscription at that point, and like had played like five of the sets, and like Gatekeeper was the first thing that showed up, and I like was just so confused with like what Exile was because it like didn't explain anything. At that point, I didn't even know where the mats
Exile's
were.
pretty complicated. I remember like when I was playing with some of my family online like a year ago, and they're like, "Oh, we want to play Menagerie. Like that one sounds fun. It's got horses and animals and everything." And I was like, "All right." So I had to go through and I had to like make all the Exile cards unfamiliar so that like they wouldn't get drawn.
Oh.
Because I was like, we cannot play with like any of these Exile cards. This is gonna be way too complicated for like a game where people just like want to have fun, like turning horses and things.
Yeah. Did you also like ban all the ways too?
Well, that's easier to turn off.
Oh
You
yeah,
just
yeah.
like uncheck the boxes.
Right.
So it's pretty easy to like make sure you don't have any ways.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had to go through and like make half the cards Menagerie like unfamiliar so they wouldn't get drawn
Yeah.
on the board.
But yeah, no. First time experiencing Gatekeeper, I thought it was just a ridiculous card because it was I just got stomped by it and had no idea what to do.
And like Nocturne, the first time I played Nocturne, I was like, "What on earth is going on here?" Like you just like pull up the cards because you're like, "Yeah, let's try and use it," and then you look at it and you're like, "What on earth is all this stuff?"
Yeah.
But like even Adventures is pretty complicated. Like Adventures was one of the earlier, more complicated ones. It added events, it added reserve cards, it added travelers. Like Adventures was pretty complicated when it came out.
Yeah.
But like I really like the like a lot of people give a hard time to this game about not having a theme, but I really like the themes in Adventures. You know, like travelers like go out on a mission and become better over time. Tavern Mat's really funny. It's like all your friends are hanging out at the bar and you like give them a call from the tavern and you're like, "Hey, I need your help now. Come on out."
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, they're all just hanging out at the bar waiting for you to give them a call.
Yeah. I saw the art for the Tavern Mat for the first time recently too, and I was just like, "Wow! Like this is really cool." Like, I didn't get that it was supposed to be the wine merchant, rat catcher, and guide, um, but because like the guide especially tripped me up, just because she looks so different in action.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty cool. And I was trying to find the teacher on there as well, but it didn't. I couldn't.
Yeah, I've never looked at that mat. Let me see. I have to Google it right now. Does it show the mat? What's the box art? I don't see the mat anywhere online. Maybe I'll find it somewhere.
Yeah, I think it was put somewhere in the Renaissance Mix channel because we were talking about
yeah,
that.
I'm on the wiki. I don't see it here, but that's alright.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first time I played with mats, a friend of mine has Seaside in real life, and like the Seaside mats like create like a big landscape image. Like the island touches the pirate ship mat, which touches the native village. So, like they create like an art when you put all three of them next to each other, which is kind of fun.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
So, all right. Well, we're getting a little off track on talking about things. So let's get back to this game a little bit. Sorry about that. Echiqueur's got a lead. I mean, Minionpawn's certainly been building more. But Echiqueur does have a nice lead. So, like, if Minionpawn is not careful, Echiqueur could get like a pilot next turn. So, I think Minion is going to have to start scoring here. Because, like, Messenger is a really good card for emptying piles. Like, I guess it's not super easy, but like, I guess Echiqueur only has one Baron and one Ironworks, so maybe the pile out's not possible even with the best draw, but it's getting pretty close to time for Minionpawn to need to score.
Yeah, and it's just a little hard here too because you got to have good draws to be able to use the royal carriages on things that are not wishing wells. So
Yeah, I mean, Minionpawn has 2 royal carriages down. Uh, let's see. Can Minionpawn end it for a win here? Probably not. Don't think Minionpawn has enough games to also score 9 points in the win. I'm not sure why Minionpawn's not playing these ironworks, but
Yeah, maybe worried about
I guess like maybe like
lowering it.
adding guides and barons doesn't really do anything for you, and like doesn't want to. I don't know. I would have maybe considered ironworksing for ironworks is there, but I understand not doing it.
Yeah, more stop cards.
Yeah. I think you can just double here. Like, yeah, I think you just have to score here.
Yeah. So Minionpawn should be able to double pretty reliably from here on out.
Maybe not quite double reliably, but at least single and build.
Yeah.
Should be fine. So then, like, Eshi is not even able to consistently single.
I think there's Minionpawn has 7 stop cards. Because it's the Baron.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it depends on how you're defining royal carriages and things like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, now Minionpawn looks like pretty clearly in the lead now. I mean, not that Minionpawn wasn't pretty clearly in the lead. I mean, like, can probably shoot for the pilot next turn, probably. I think the games are still a little too difficult here.
Yeah.
But we'll see how far Minionpawn gets into the deck. Like, even adding 2 provinces is, like, really annoying for this deck.
Yeah.
Wishing wells.
Oh no.
Like, Minionpawn might not even single here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't look like Minion's even a single here. So, like, the draw is so awkward, even with all of these wishing wells.
Do you just Ironworks a wishing well here, or?
That's a little dangerous. Yeah, I think buying it to get rid of the copper is a better idea.
Yeah.
Like, you just really need to get rid of all these stock cards.
So this will probably be another harem.
Yeah, even though I don't really agree with it. I mean, yeah, Echiqueur's deck just really isn't able to draw enough to do much.
Yeah, it's a bit late for that. Yeah, it's just.
I'm gonna leave the table for 1 sec.
All right.
Alright, and back, switching from iPad to computer.
Ooh, fancy. Yeah, this is man, wishing wells. And it stinks too, because like there are just so many cards that you can't like reliably use wishing wells anymore. Because even though estates function the same, it's just you gotta wish for a state rather than wishing well. And if you reveal a wishing well or an estate, or it's just
Yeah, you like can't even consistently ask for it. That's more like when you wish it was like back to the emulators.
yes.
Where like it actually was the card.
Oh yeah.
I'm not sure whether inherited estates you can wish for wishing well. I'm not sure. I mean, it doesn't exist anymore, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
But yeah, like this board could really use a card like Patrol.
Oh my goodness, that would be amazing.
And a village.
Yeah, I mean, I'd take even just Patrol, like use Royal Carriage on a Wishing Well or two.
Yeah, I guess Royal Carriage is good enough for village here. But yeah, just looking at the intrigue cards, like there's a lot of really nice cards, and they just didn't find them. Like Ironworks is fine, Baron's fine, Pawn is fine, but like this is not very exciting. Heron's boring. But like there are a lot of good intrigue cards. I just think there's enough kind of like they're okay. Like
yeah, Torture here could be particularly brutal if you even go for it. I mean, like if you were to replace Harem with Torture, I think you would still want to get Torture because you can get like the village is a little awkward, but Royal Carriage is a fine village for that, and just to have some more draw than just Wishing Well.
All right, and Minion's got the win here, so.
All right.
You can Messenger for 2 pawns, buy the pawns, and then buy some green. Or just do that. Come on, do the style points. Messenger the pawns. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
All right. So a little bit of a frustrating board, but Minionpawn spiking an early inheritance got the lead in the win.
Yes.
Yeah, Echiqueur just was never really able to thin at all, and that just really hurt.
Yeah.
Echiqueur going base, I'm not a fan of base in these. Like, it's fine, but I just think there's more fun ones to pick. But I guess a lot of people are really big fans of base. So.
Yeah.
I just find base a little boring. Like, it's fine, but I chose to not play any base tournament.
Yeah. Same.
Like I watched like a match between J Nails and Burning Skull. It was like the most like deterministic base boards ever. It was like player 1 advantage, like enormous. And the game was over like 2-2 first player 1 every game in like 20 minutes. It was just like pretty sad. But let's see what we got. What do we got here?
All right, Heavy Menagerie. So that's nice. We've got Sanctuary for thinning, which is very good. Although you can't really do anything about curses, so those could, like, aside from exiling, so that could potentially hurt a little bit. And I think Witch will still be important. But
yeah,
otherwise,
definitely Witch will still be important. Like, you can exile them, but like you still have to like deal with exiling them. And every time you exile a curse, you're like not exiling a copper or silver.
Yeah. But you've got Supplies, Mastermind, so you can, like, if you get a Supplies and Mastermind in the same hand, then you can just Mastermind a horse, and then once you start doing that, then you're,
Alright, so Echiqueur opened Camel Train Silver, which I, like, strongly disagree with. Camel Train's a really high roll card, and I'm, like, not a big fan of opening it. It sometimes works, but I'm not a big fan of opening it. Like, you kind of need to find it turn 3. And then, like, exile a witch, and then find $5 turn 4 and get 2 witches. Like, very high roll open. Minionpawn opened Supplies Silver and got the witch on turn 3. I probably would have just opened Silver, but I see Supplies Silver being reasonable too. But I probably would have just gone with Silver here, aiming for spiking a witch or a sanctuary. I could see witch or sanctuary as first 5. I think they're both pretty similar. I might be a little inclined to go Sanctuary because, like, the extra buy could help me grab like 2 supplies. But I could see Witch or Sanctuary as the first 5.
And I can see Silver Supplies as well, because it's probably better at spiking 5 than Silver, just because of the horse. Or does that?
It's not quite as good. So if you find it turn 3, it's fine. But if you find it turn 4, it's like really bad.
Yeah.
It's like just a copper. So if you find the supplies turn 3, it's better at spiking 5. But if you don't, then it's not great. You only have a 42% chance of finding the supplies turn 3, so that's why I'm a little more inclined to just get silver. But I get the supplies. It's one less top card in the end.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, you probably want most of your treasures exiled anyway, because hunting, lodge, animal fair, mastermind is going to be fine anyway.
Yeah. I guess. I don't know. I'd be like, the problem is there's not great disappearing payload. Like, animal fair is okay, but like it's kind of annoying to get, and it doesn't come with a plus buy yet.
Right. Yeah.
So like, I don't like in masterminding. You're probably just gonna mastermind horses on the top of your deck because of the supplies.
Oh yeah,
so,
absolutely.
Like,
but
I don't see this as being a draw to X deck because like you're just gonna mastermind supplies most of it, or mastermind horses most of the time. So like I kind of want to get like a number of sanctuaries, 1 or 2 witches, a number of supplies, get destriers down to 0, and like kind of run from there. Because like supplies can make destriers super cheap, so like a bunch of plus buys are really nice here. So you can just load up on supplies and destriers.
Right. Yeah. And then once you do that, you basically just win.
Yeah, not quite, but like almost. Eventually,
yeah.
like once you get like I'm not gonna say winning the split's important, but like you should be able to like one player should be able to get a lot of supplies and a lot of destriers, and then just like kind of add the payload afterwards.
Yeah. And yeah, Echiqueur was is adding payload a little early. Way too early for an animal fair.
Control. Yeah, and like they each have a witch. I guess one witch could be fine here, just because like it's a little hard to like play 2 in a turn. So I could see just getting 1 witch and then just like focusing on sanctuaries until you get thin.
Yes.
Being reasonable.
Yeah, if you can mastermind a sanctuary or a witch relatively early, that's going to be, or even a horse. But like sanctuary or witch would both be very, very good, because that's either 3 cards thinned or 3 curses given out.
Yeah. So yeah, the sanctuary and witch both have some pretty good appeal at the opening, as the first 5.
Yeah.
All right. So what's Minionpawn gonna grab here? I could see 2 more supplies here. I'm not sure what the mastermind split is right now.
2-1 Minionpawn.
Okay, so I don't think you need a third mastermind's fine. That's fine. I mean, either way, like I definitely want at least like 2 masterminds down every turn going forward.
Yes.
So yeah, that animal fair. I'm not. How did I shoot you get that game?
Trashing that camel train.
Oh yeah, the camel train was like. Once I had the camel train, I kind of want to keep it, but like, I didn't really want to invest any effort in getting it. So it's really weird that Echiqueur just trashed the camel train immediately turn 3. It was very odd. It didn't even exile a single thing. Like, the main benefit is to just like play the camel train turn 3 to like exile a sanctuary, buy a sanctuary turn 4, have 2 sanctuaries.
Yeah.
So just immediately trashing it seems like you got rid of the main benefit of it.
Yeah. But yeah, Echiqueur does tend to play a bit more money-ish there, so.
Yeah, and like this board just screams building. Like even the base cards we have are like really good building cards.
Yeah.
Other than Witch, but I mean, I guess Witch still sort of encourages building, because like if you don't build, you just take 10 curses. All right, so now Minionpawn's going to get another mastermind here, almost assuredly.
Yeah.
Mastermind and what? Sanctuary? Market? Okay, either Sanctuary or Market. I think like they're both kind of serving the same effect here, just like getting more buys into the deck.
Yeah, and here you can just mastermind a horse and Sanctuary.
Yeah.
Which would be nice.
Which is just great. Mastermind the Sanctuary, clean up a little bit.
Interesting. Okay, going for market.
Mastermind the markets, that's fine too. I guess Minionpawn's not quite concerned about drawing the whole deck here.
Yeah.
It's like close enough to drawing deck. So yeah, I'd probably just like pile supplies right now and add a few Destriers. Or like pile supplies, add a gold and a Destrier.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Unfortunately, Minionpawn didn't get 2 masterminds down there, so it's a little sad.
Yeah. At least be able to mastermind a horse, though.
Camel Train's fine for adding payload now. So I don't have a problem with Camel Train there. I don't like the province right now. I mean, Minionpawn has enough of a lead, but there's like no reason not to just build super heavily there. Like,
yeah,
it's fine. Minionpawn's still got like a 98% chance to win this game. I just think that the province was just like completely unnecessary there. Like, you could build more.
Yes. Yeah, I would have wanted the supplies, gold, Destriers.
Yeah, I mean,
sounded
I guess
good,
like
or
Mastermind's gonna be the third pile in a minute, so maybe piling supplies, maybe getting a province is fine, just because like Minionpawn can probably just pile out right now. So I guess that was the consideration, was that Minionpawn can probably just pile this turn. So
yeah, I mean, I guess not. It's a little. It seems a little hard this turn just because of the buys.
Okay, it's not gonna happen this turn, I don't think.
But should be next turn.
Right. Yeah, that's fine. Just like
take the last 2 masterminds or get working on the Destriers.
Yeah, I mean, you can also just buy another province here to be like extra safe. Like exile a mastermind, buy a province, like anything like that's fine. Like, there's no way Echiqueur can win this, but it's just a question of how conservative Minionpawn wants to play right now.
Yes.
But like everything's winning at this point. Like,
yeah.
So yeah, so it's a little post-mortem. I think just the Camel Train opening like really hurt, getting a 5 early.
Yeah.
And that just really hurt Echiqueur. So
and then
Camel Train's usually not good.
Yeah, and then aside from whatever like that did for hitting 5 to have gotten the Camel Train instead of double silver, also trashing that for an Animal Fair was very, very premature.
Yeah, an early Animal Fair is usually bad. Like, it's a pure payload card, and it doesn't even come with the +5 at the beginning. So, like, it's just not a great early game card. It's, like, not even always a good late game card either.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's hard to get. Like, with horses, it's easy to get. But sometimes, like, you need the buy, but you have to spend the buy just to get it, so it's, like, a little awkward sometimes. But this board has so many buys that, like, it doesn't really matter either way. Like, Animal Fair is fine, but it's also, like, not really necessary. So, Animal Fair is just kind of an awkward card, because, like, you need the buys to get it, but then, like, when you want the buys, sometimes it's hard to empty a pile anyways. It's all just a little awkward. So, all right, well played by Minionpawn.
Yes.
2-0 here.
Yeah, and I completely overlooked the curses for some reason as the third pile. Yeah. I was thinking like Destriers.
I guess when Minionpawn province, that was probably fine. I thought it was a little conservative, but like I guess if you're winning, like just don't open up any possibility for the loss. So the province was fine.
Yeah.
Minionpawn got it a couple turns ago, just because like you definitely don't want to open up some silly pile out and lose a game that you have like completely won.
Yeah. Okay, going Empires. I was kind of thinking like Renaissance is probably going to be a player 1 pick, but
I probably would have gone Renaissance as player 1, but Empires is fine. Empires has a lot of really strong cards as well. Empires is kind of like an improved version of Prosperity. Like Prosperity with a lot less of the duds, but a lot of the same sort of ideas.
Yeah, this is. I'm pretty sure Possession's on the ban list. Maybe
I'm
even
pretty sure
Familiar
Minionpawn
too.
has a band, but maybe we'll see it.
Yeah. Yeah, Alchemy is just not a good set to use for this because it's a smaller one.
I think you put the period at the wrong spot in that sentence.
Yeah.
Alchemy is not a good set. Period. Hey, we got a good alchemy board. Just
Oh
trying
man.
for herbalist.
Yes.
Well, that worked out well.
All right.
All right, what do we got going on? Aglet.
Okay. Yeah. No. Possession is not banned. So. Okay. Yeah. Let's see. But yes, we don't have any thinning.
Correct.
So that'll make scrying pools worse for a while.
But you do have forum, which can like synergize with it pretty well, because like you keep your scrying pool, you play the forum, and you just hold on to the treasures, and you discard your actions.
Right.
And then you play the scrying pools to pick them up. So like scrying pool is probably good enough to work here. So like I think opening potion chariot race is probably reasonable here. To do that, I could also say like potion herbalist, to be honest, because like you're gonna want the plus buy with scrying pool, like really early. Because like even right now, like if Minionpawn had a herbalist instead of one of these coppers, you can go like scrying pool, patrician, or like anything like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I really disagree with Echiqueur delving here. Like this board screams build a ton.
Yes.
Like, build a ton and just like end the game on one mega turn with like a bunch of groundskeepers in plays and a bunch of like crowned herbalists.
Yeah.
For buys and just like buy like 20 cards at once.
Yeah.
And end the game then.
The only treasures that you want here are crowns and 1 gold. And the potion
and
to get the scrying pool, but you don't want to have silver.
Not that important. Like if your opponent's playing scrying pools, like you just hold on to 2 scrying pools, and like the legionary attack wasn't that good.
Yeah.
So like I could even see skipping legionary here. I don't think it's like that useful.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I don't think having another terminal.
I could go either way on it. I just like I think it's situationally. Like I don't mind getting the legionary. It's the gold that I have an issue.
Yeah. Yeah.
Here. Like buying the gold is like a big opportunity cost compared to like any of the other cards. Like I'd so much rather have a crown in my deck than a gold.
Yes. Yeah. I guess legionary would be better just for like scrying pool draw. But yeah. I don't know. If there's
like,
legionary,
once you have like 30 action cards in your deck, like the legionary is not going to be that important.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's true.
But scrying pool and chariot race like have a pretty good synergy. Like I'm kind of down on chariot race because I find it kind of stupid. But like if you have something that inspects the top of the deck, I'm much more okay with it because of the fact that it's no longer random. Like it's encouraging building a better deck. Like get the scrying pool, leave a copper on the top of their deck, and then play your chariot races. Like I'm much more okay with it in that case because there's some strategy involved with it rather than just like randomly.
Yes.
Hoping that there's a copper on top or not. Like, you know you're going to get scrying pool attacked, and you know they're going to leave a copper on top of your deck, so, like, you have to, like, spam chariot races here.
Yeah.
There's so many points available from them. That's, like, another reason to not delve, is, like, you just don't need to take any victory cards until the game's about to end here.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah,
and there's so many points.
Yeah.
There's an infinite number of points, so, like...
Yeah. Yeah, and yeah, I didn't think about that as a nice synergy between scrying pool and chariot race, but I have experienced that firsthand.
Yeah, sometimes that happens like with knights as well.
Oh yes, I know that.
Scrying pool can be really deadly.
Yes.
Just any top deck inspection, like even rogue, like if there's no other cards in the trash, like rogue scrying pool can be really strong. Yeah. Like,
yeah. That's essentially a thief for like any card.
Yeah. So they're both spamming scrying pools. Echiqueur got an Overlord. I guess Overlord has some use. The problem is just like it costs a lot. Like, I really want plus buy now. Like, I think Minionpawn's gonna have to buy an Herbalist very soon. Like, right now.
Yeah.
Or even an Overlord instead of an Herbalist. But like, it's pretty much just gonna be an Herbalist most of the game anyways.
Yeah.
That's a little weird.
I mean,
I guess
the potion's
Forum,
there,
like,
so you wouldn't want to.
Forum works as some plus buy, so I guess at some point you'll hit like $7 and you just buy a Forum and an Herbalist. But I don't know. I'd probably be on board with getting the Herbalist pretty darn soon. But maybe just spamming the scrying pools is a little better.
Yes.
Like, maybe you don't quite need the Herbalist yet. Like, at some point you hit $7 or even like 12.
Yeah.
So like, I'd probably go Forum Herbalist now. Or Forum Scrying Pool. I guess Minionpawn just wants all the scrying pools. Like, that's fine too.
Yeah, and might as well
When
keep
I
it going.
want to buy things other than Forums and Scrying Pool, Fora and Scrying Pool, but I don't know, maybe I'm overrating the Herbalist a little bit. I just want more Chariot races.
Yeah.
I get emptying Scrying Pools, but I also want to empty Chariot races here too. Because like, once you empty your deck, the Chariot races are going to stop working.
Yeah.
You need to play these Chariot races before you draw your whole deck.
So I guess here maybe.
Yeah. So like, that's kind of weird, interesting timing. You have to like make sure you're playing your Chariot races at the right time.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, I guess Minionpawn's just going to keep going Forum Scrying Pool, but like, I think you have enough Scrying Pools now. I would probably go like Forum Herbalist. It's like, I really want to buy multiple Chariot races.
Yeah. I guess Overlord works that too.
Yeah, like, it works.
But yeah, I'd want a few groundskeepers as well.
Yeah, well, not yet. Like, I want to empty Chariot races first. Like, that's just like, I mean, Minionpawn's a very good player, but I would probably be putting a little more emphasis on getting more Chariot races. Like,
yeah.
Like, you know, you're pretty good to get many points each turn on Chariot races. Like, play one Scrying Pool, leave a copper on top of their deck. Once you know there's a copper on top of their deck, then just like spam Chariot races, play the rest of your Scrying Pools.
And yeah, I mean, I wouldn't want to leave in a state on top. Like, I'd discard to try to find a copper.
Make sure they're in a copper on top of their deck.
Yeah, so here I guess definitely like double Herbalist maybe? I don't know.
No, you only need one Herbalist.
Yeah.
Scrying Pool Chariot races maybe? Crown works too.
Yeah.
Crown's probably better on a Chariot race. Now that I think about it, in that case, it's fine. But yeah, this is just like a really weird all-new board.
Yeah.
It's just like Chariot race is super important because you can't thin. Like, a lot of boards, if there's thinning, Chariot race just kind of doesn't matter because everyone's deck, like, all the cards cost 3 or more, so they barely hit.
Yeah.
So like, those are the boards where like Chariot race is just like completely skippable.
And I guess Minionpawn's gonna try to save a crown potion for getting the last 2 scrying pools.
I guess.
Alright, never mind.
Yeah, like, I mean, Minionpawn's gonna have like 7 scrying pools anyways. Like, you don't need like 10 scrying pools as opposed to 7. Like,
yeah.
Especially with Fora as well. Like, adding a few Fora and like, it's pretty easy to draw the deck up. Scrying Pool, Double Crown, probably. Chariot Race, Overlord, that works too. There's a lot of options that I all think are like pretty fungible here, like crowns versus chariot races versus overlords. Like they're all kind of serving a similar purpose.
Yeah, having that estate on top is really bad for Minionpawn this turn.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely got Echiqueur a few points. It's still a pretty close game somehow.
Yeah.
Echiqueur is gonna dud right here though. So now like piles are becoming very low. So it's a little hard to empty 4 all at once, but like both players are gonna have to be taking that into consideration.
Yes.
Like, do you go for him Scrying Pool here? Probably, because like Echiqueur probably can't hit $15.
Yeah. I mean that was a pretty phenomenal turn that he just had. So I wouldn't expect that again.
Yeah, I mean Form Scrying Pool is a little risky. For Minionpawn. Yeah,
Okay.
I think Minionpawn sees that that's just a little too risky. Like if Echiqueur has a really good turn, it's pretty risky. I could even see buying Province here. Like the piles are just getting really low.
Yeah.
Maybe just Crown.
Groundskeeper, okay, yeah.
Just not Forum. It's just like
Yeah.
really risky. Yeah, now Minionpawn's gotta like. Well, I guess there's no other stock cards in there that it's not really a risk yet. I'd probably start like crowning chariot races now.
Yeah.
Where you accidentally draw the whole deck. Minionpawn only has like two more treasure cards down there. So wait, no, three more stop treasure cards down there, and they're gonna be coppers. Like Minionpawn's not gonna get these chariot race points.
Yeah.
Like I think that was a misplay there. I'll just say it. Like I'm pretty sure Minionpawn wanted to start crowning chariot races earlier.
Yeah. But
that turn.
I mean,
like the chariot races are just completely useless right now. Like
yeah.
Okay. The Fora still make it work. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, right. Because you can
the
just.
Fora can make it work.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. Minionpawn put that better. The Fora worked fine for it. Never mind.
Yeah.
I retract my statement. I completely messed with that Fora. It's still in there. Set it up. Sorry. Sometimes like when you're commentating these matches versus actually playing them, you just like miss things.
Yeah.
Because you're not watching it as closely. Like I rewatched that gamble board I had yesterday. I was like, man, if I was like not actually playing this, I wouldn't have like played it as well. But when you're actually playing it, you're just like super focused on what you're doing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess it goes both ways because sometimes when you're commentating, you see stuff that you don't see as playing. But then other times when you're playing things, like it seems a lot more straightforward when you're actually playing it. So I guess it goes both ways.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was like the best alchemy board imaginable. Other than Apprentice. If you put Apprentice in here instead of like Legionary, this board would be amazing.
Oh yeah. Huh. Interesting.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I mean, it's not that bad an undo anyway. I don't see what.
No, I mean Minionpawn didn't like.
I mean, just play another herbalist.
I don't know how many undos.
Oh yeah.
Minionpawn requested. Okay, Minionpawn requested a longer undo.
Okay.
So I wasn't sure what was going on there. There might be a win here.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a win. Okay.
The Fora and Scrying Pool.
Yeah, there's a win. All right, so well played by Minionpawn.
Yeah, and it's funny. I was just thinking, dang, if only there were like if only had like $5 more, and I
Yeah,
like
I wasn't looking at it that
didn't see
closely,
the
but like I'd always had in my head that like there was a possibility.
yeah.
Hence why Minionpawn didn't buy the forum last turn.
Yep.
It was just opening up that possibility.
Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Because the legionary, and didn't even think about that. So yeah. Yeah. Would have played a little more scarily there, I think.
Yeah. All right, so going into the last game, 3-0 Minionpawn. Cornucopia. I'm not a big fan of Cornucopia. Like, I just think there are more fun ones to pick, but it's fine, I guess.
Yeah. Cornucopia.
If you got like Horn and Menagerie, it's fun, but a lot of other Cornucopia cards are just kind of meh, like Farming Village, Fortune Teller.
Tournament.
Yeah. Well, I have tournament bands. So
yeah. Oh, tournament's banned here too. Yeah.
Yeah. As long as you ban tournament, like Cornucopia is fine. Oh, this board looks prosperity-like.
Yes. Yeah, I kind of want to.
There's one Cornucopia card, and it's Young Witch, which means we still have 10 prosperity cards.
Yeah. I guess mint. Yeah, no, I definitely want a mint.
Yeah, mint's gonna be important here. Even Young Witch might. Well, I guess if your opponent gets a Watchtower, Young Witch is useful because Watchtower can deal with it both ways. It can block or it can trash.
Yes. All right, that was a nice mint there, getting 5 coppers trashed.
Nice. Very nice mint. So Echiqueur is gonna be able to. What do you do here is Echiqueur. Can get a King's Court, but it feels way too early.
Yeah, and you don't want to mint this hand.
Yeah, I mean, otherwise you just like have nothing. Yeah, the 3 states are gonna be kind of annoying to deal with.
Yeah, maybe a loan. I don't know.
I could see loan here at some point. Like, eventually you want to get rid of all your treasures.
Yeah, Echiqueur needs.
You just want to like King's Court Grand Markets, but maybe like at that point you just like keep the mint. And, I definitely can see having multiple quarries here. Because I just like eventually want to get to like a bunch of King's Courts and Grand Markets and then just win the game.
Yeah.
Like nothing else really matters at that point. So like.
But yeah, no, you definitely want to get trashing and kind of on the earlier side. So I think Echiqueur does need to just get a loan.
Yeah, I guess just the problem with loan is like Echiqueur then needs a loan or mint, one or the other.
Yeah, I mean if you can't get a good mint hand,
I'd
like
just not play the quarry and get a mint right there.
Okay.
Well, okay. I don't know. I think the King's Court's too early. Like, what are you kinging? You don't have anything good to king.
Yeah. Hunting party, I guess, but
right.
even that's not great.
Minionpawn's gonna get a Grand Market here, I believe. It's Grand Market time. Yep. Those close buys from Grand Market are just gonna be hugely important here once you're kinging it.
Oh yeah. And another Grand Market. I think 2 quarries is probably fine.
2's fine. 3 is just like you like, almost never need 3. But 2's a pretty nice number with 6s and 7s on the board.
Yeah. You could actually trash them both here. I mean, maybe that would be a terrible idea.
Trash them both.
But you could do you could get mint Grand Market. So.
All right. So what you need is you need a Watchtower in hand. So that you buy the mint and you trash your copper. You trash your treasures and then you also trash the mint.
Right. Yes.
That's the big brain play.
Yes. But yeah, that takes a bit of setup.
It takes some setup. And like otherwise, Watchtower is pretty bad.
Yeah.
Unless your opponent's playing Young Witch. Which doesn't look like a bad option. I'm kind of surprised no one has a Young Witch yet. Like, I would definitely say a Young Witch get picked up at some point. Wait, what? Why didn't Minionpawn? That was weird.
I guess.
I thought Minionpawn underbought that team.
Yeah.
I don't know why Minionpawn didn't play the.
Oh, it was a talisman, not a quarry.
Oh, it was a talisman. I like completely missed that. Talisman was game there. I'm not good with talisman. Talisman I find to be difficult to play
Yeah. And I mean, Talisman quarrying Grand Markets is
Yeah,
gonna be
like
pretty
you just
good.
melt piles with Talisman once you have some deck control. The problem is like it's hard to actually get the deck control here.
Yeah, it is very hard. But yeah, here you can just do that with Grand Markets. Like you can get
Yeah,
like
definitely Talisman, Quarry,
4 to 6 Grand
Silver.
Markets.
You get all the Grand
Yeah,
Markets here.
all the Grand Markets. Definitely just get all the Grand Markets.
There was a game yesterday like this where Crabcat did the same thing on a prosperity board where Crabcat just gained like 4 Grand Markets at once and it was just basically GG.
Yeah.
And now Minionpawn's can do the same thing with 6 Grand Markets. It's just like completely dominating.
Yep. It's pretty over.
Yeah.
This hand certainly doesn't help.
That's an understatement. Like, yeah, this is GG time. So like, if Minionpawn can king another Grand Market, I think there's a pile out pretty evidently.
Yes.
And might need. I'd probably buy like another King's Court here.
Yeah, that sounds good. King's Court
Like
and
King's Court, Young Witch, maybe. Not that you need the Young Witch, but it is cycling. Okay, I can see like 2
yeah,
hunting parties as
hunting
well.
parties work as well.
Too. All right.
All right.
Yeah, king the Grand Market, and I think the game. I think there's a pile out pretty easily. King the Grand Market, mint the Talisman, draw everything, and like the board's just gonna melt.
Yes.
Lava. Yeah, Talisman Quarry Grand Market is just like uber strong combination. I mean, I wouldn't call it a combo, but it's just like the cards work really well together.
Oh yeah, yeah.
King the GM, yeah.
Yeah, I think kinging the hunting party wouldn't be good
Try
there.
to play the hunting party. I definitely want to like find the Talisman and mint it.
Yeah, I guess hold out hope for. Yeah, well, there's a few more Grand Markets. So.
All right, mint the Talisman and then play the hunting party, and I think you'll draw back the Talisman.
There's one more King's Court too, so.
I think Eschi has 3 King's Courts.
Oh, really?
I'm pretty sure Eschi has 3 King's Courts. Oh, yeah, I would have minted the Talisman before playing that, but I guess it was going to find the horse traders anyways.
Yes.
All right, so didn't find multiple Talisman or quarries. Not like maybe not quite a win, but no, this should still win.
Yeah.
Let me see, what are the piles?
A little harder.
Play the Talisman. Yeah, you can easily.
This should be a win, yeah.
There's no question. This is easily a win.
Actually,
Empty
no.
Hunting.
No, because emptying the King's Court is going to be 30.
No. Empty hunting parties, empty horse traders, and just like buying a state.
Oh, okay.
2 more hunting parties gets you down to $15. Then the horse traders cost you another $8, and then you just buy a state. I'm not even doing the math. I just know it's enough. I think you're gonna have $5 left over. Yeah. Empty horse traders, empty hunting parties, and I believe you have $7 left after that. Yes, 7 is correct.
All right, nice.
Yay, I can do math.
Woo! All right.
All right, well played by Minionpawn, and yeah, tough games. But yeah, building's winning on a lot of these boards. So,
Yes. Yeah, very
I'm not
much so.
quite sure. I feel like Echiqueur and Minionpawn had pretty similar strategies on this last one. Just Minionpawn got a really good mint off early that Echiqueur just couldn't really keep up with. So I think that was the main thing there.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I don't know Yeah, I don't know if you want to get more silvers after that, but I think with like already not getting a good mint trash off as early, like just buying another silver wasn't helping. But
Yeah, I mean they both had similar amounts of treasure at the end game. It just took Echiqueur 2 minutes to get there, and it only took Minionpawn 1 minute to get there.
yeah,
So, all right. Well, good commentating with you, and see you all around.
all right. Thank you for watching.
Bye.